I guess you've heard the shocking news that Baltimore is infested. And I could have told you that. I've never even been there. And it's not that it's infested with rats or anything, although it may be. But the worst problem is that it's infested with the same thing that infests, Denver and Los Angeles, New York City, all of the Springfields across the country, and Dallas and everything else. It's not really rats or other kind of four-legged vermin, but it is infested with politicians. It's really dishonest when people refer to politicians by calling them leaders. They're not leaders. Politicians are never leaders. And if you're following a politician, you're going the wrong direction. Doesn't matter who they are or what they're doing. Politicians are not leaders, or at least they shouldn't be. And if they are, you've got problems. And I don't know what you can do about that kind of infestation, because a lot of people want to solve things like that by throwing more politicians and government laws and everything else at them. And that's like curing poisoning by throwing more poison into your mouth. About the dumbest thing you can possibly do. I guess the only way to get over the infestation that Baltimore has is for the people of Baltimore to stop putting up with it. But as long as other people keep calling those vermin leaders, people are less likely to come to their senses and stop allowing themselves to be led by those that infest them. But politics, it makes people stupid. It really does. It doesn't matter if it's the people who become politicians or the people who follow them around or worship them, or even the people who fight against them. They're not worth your time. Just ignore them. Get on with your life. Live like you should. The other thing that was in the news was the garlic festival, and that the evil loser who murdered some people there. I saw a question on Quora where someone was asking if things like that make me want to avoid festivals and other outdoor events. The thing is, no, why should it? Things like that are very, very rare. If you worry about that kind of thing and change your life to avoid something that's that rare, all you're doing is hurting yourself. I've never really gone to things like that too much, but when I did, I certainly wasn't worried about a mass shooter. I try to stay aware of my surroundings as much as I can, and nothing's going to guarantee safety. But of course, if you are responsible and take precautions, chances of anything bad happening go down a lot. But it's just so much easier, I suppose, to wring your hands and worry and yell that you're in danger or whatever. The best way to fight against evil losers like that is to be armed everywhere at all times. And again, it's not a guarantee, but it's better than hiding and cowering and dying without a chance, or running in a stampede or whatever. Anything besides a universally armed population just makes it more likely that the evil losers will be successful. even in this case, once again, it was people with guns that ended up ending the attack. And yeah, this time it was cops, but it shouldn't have to be. Everybody there should have been armed. It doesn't matter that the festival puts out a sign saying guns aren't allowed. You can have all the security you want, you can have signs. If somebody wants to attack, they're not going to go through a metal detector or allow their bags to be checked or whatever. They're just going to go in shooting. Anybody knows that. Anybody should be able to figure that out. All of this security stuff, it just helps the bad guys. It does not make anybody safer. It's loser living. You just can't keep people safe against evil losers unless you are prepared to deal with them when they ignore all of the things that people believe are going to keep them safe. It's just ridiculous to think otherwise. I was looking at some of the news stories about it, and of course, the first one had the very, I guess I'd say, racist comment where they said, oh, well, the shooter is just some typical white guy with a gun. That's disgusting, but whatever. Yeah, let people be racist and say stuff like that if they want. Another thing, they were talking about that he used an SKS rifle, and they said it's an AK-47 type weapon. In what world is that true? I mean, there's almost nothing similar between an SKS and an AK-47 except that they're, semi-auto. But, you don't expect anything but ignorance from anti-gun bigots in the media. So, yeah, whatever. I don't know, that they said that the little evil loser, somebody asked him why he was doing that, and he said because he was really angry. Well, I guess his anger got ended. Too bad that other people had to suffer for his anger. It would have been better if he just gone and killed himself somewhere. But that's always the best way. But these little evil losers, they want to make everybody else as unhappy as they can before that happens, if it happens. So they got to go around and shoot innocent people. People who don't have anything to do with their anger. But anyway, just there's crazy people out there. You got to be ready all the time. You always think it can't happen here. It can happen anywhere. And yeah, it can happen to you. Just, it's a loser's bet to think, oh, well, no, it'll never happen to me and it can't happen here. And if you're not prepared, then you're also not prepared to protect innocent people around you. So it's just irresponsible to not be prepared to defend yourself and others from evil losers. Anyway, I guess that's it for this time. I hope that you don't follow politicians. Don't let politicians be your leaders. Recognize that they are what infests cities, towns, counties, states, and the whole country. They're more dangerous to your health and well-being than rats or fleas or rabid skunks or anything else. They are the real vermin, and you don't need to be following them around. So good luck with it, and I guess I'll see you next time.